It doesn't matter if you want to believe this or you don't want to believe it. These are cold hard facts. These reports are true. My question to you guys is this right here. Do you think they're doing a little bit too much by saying these things about Justin Fields? Well. What do we have brewing here with Justin Fields? And hold on. Now that I think about it, have we ever talked about Justin Fields on our channel? I don't think we have, and that is rare for our channel. Yeah, of course, I brought up his name here and there, but we haven't just talked about him and focused on him in a video. That's kind of crazy to me considering we talk about a variety of things when it comes to football. Anyways though, getting back on track with today's video, we're going to be talking about him of course, but the reason we're going to be talking about him is because of this huge eye-opening update in the offseason. There's a lot of stuff and information being released about Justin Fields in the past 24 hours that has a lot of people talking. It caught my attention, and I think this is a very interesting topic because over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about our rookie quarterbacks like Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Levis, Malik Willis, and all those guys. We don't really talk about the star quarterbacks in the NFL like the established guys because there's nothing even to say. They're already franchise quarterbacks, but for these guys on the other hands, they're trying to get there one day. A lot of people believe in them and a lot of other people don't believe in them, so therefore, that's why it makes for a great video and a great topic. With good old Justin Fields though, I don't want to say he's polarizing, but one thing I've noticed over the past couple of years is the Chicago Bears fans, they love him to death. They love this guy. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. One of the quarterbacks I love watching in the NFL is Justin Fields. He's so entertaining. I don't know what it is about him, but last year, even though the Bears sucked, I was like, man, I got to see Justin Fields play. I'm just intrigued by him. I like watching him play, plain and simple. But on the flip side of it, if you're not Chicago Bears fans, all these other fans, they make fun of him and they don't think he's that great. I've seen time after time, if you go on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody labels him as a running quarterback and he can't pass. I'm going to let this be known right now. I've been keeping up with Justin Fields not since Ohio State, but ever since he was in high school, and this kid can pass. I understand he hasn't proven that quite just yet at the NFL level, but the dude can pass. Just give it time. I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. We got to talk about this new update with Justin Fields, and also another minor topic we're going to speak on is Kayshon Boutte. I feel like a lot of people should know who this is, but if you don't, he was a top wide receiver coming out of high school. He was ranked right behind Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was wide receiver 1 in the most recent NFL draft. But last year for LSU didn't have a great season, and at the NFL draft combine, it was terrible. And with him not having a great year at LSU and having a poor performance at the combine, he fell mightily in the draft. How do I say this nicely? It's not looking good for him. We're going to talk all about that. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you have a great Saturday. All right, Matt, blah, shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First thing is first, let's talk about this Kayshon Boutte situation. I'm only going to talk about it for like 45 seconds because I know most of you out there, you don't care. But I do think it's an intriguing situation because this guy at one point in time was one of the best wide receivers in the country. He was awesome in high school. He was awesome at LSU when he first got there, but like I said in the intro, last year wasn't so good. He fell off, and at the NFL Combine, he had one of the worst performances out of any of the wide receivers. He was on a downward spiral to say the least, and he fell all the way to the 6th round with the 187th overall pick to the Patriots. I feel like this situation should be talked about more because people don't even remember. It was only a year and a half ago they were saying, oh, in 2023, the NFL draft, he could be a top 15 NFL draft pick. And then fast forward in time to our current date, he fell to the 6th round, and yeah, it gets worse from there. You'll see what I'm talking about. As you can see right here, according to the reports, quote unquote, Kayshon Boutte had a less than ideal mini camp in OTAs. And it was also stated that he missed a couple of practices for undisclosed reasons. And one of the staff writers for the Patriots wrote that he is quote unquote losing hope. I'm just shocked about this because I don't know what happened. I guess you could chop it up to some injury problems he was dealing with, but I don't know. I'm wishing this dude the best of luck, but man, this is the definition of life hits you fast. It's sad, it really is. I guess my only conspiracy, or not conspiracy theory, what am I talking about? My only theory would be that he's kind of fallen out of love with the game of football. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. That's my only theory. Let me know if you know anything about this down below. I would love to talk about that some more, but we gotta get to move on to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. What's going on with Justin Fields? Oh man, you know what, I'm kind of curious. Like I said, we've never talked about Justin Fields on this channel. Let me pull up his stats from the past couple of years. I just want a quick perspective before we dive into things. And before I show you guys and even look at these stats myself, here's my honest opinion on Justin Fields up until this point. I've been following up with him before he even arrived on campus at Georgia. In high school, he looked like a generational prospect, and when he got to Georgia, I felt the same way. He gets to Georgia, they don't use him the right way, they don't give him a fair opportunity and a fair shot, so he goes to the the Ohio State. I thought the Ohio State move, it was a great fit, and we saw that turn down. It was awesome. It was amazing for Ohio State, then he gets drafted by the Chicago Bears. Well, similar to the Georgia situation, I've kind of felt like the Bears haven't really used him in the right way. I felt like last year they were getting to that principle a little more, but they're not quite there just yet. I think this year they'll get a little closer to using him the way they should, kind of like the Baltimore Ravens use Lamar Jackson. I don't care what your principles or your schemes are, you have to adapt your offense to your quarterback. And the problem with the Bears is they haven't done that quite just yet fully. And before we look at these stats, I know they're not going to be great, but here's what I will tell you from watching him the past couple of years. Yeah, he hasn't been consistently great or even good, but he has shown flashes of greatness, and that's what I'm excited about. Let's take a look at these numbers, though. In 2021, he completed about 59% of his passes, had 7 touchdowns to a miserable 10 INTs, QBR of 31.4. Not good. That's not going to cut it. I don't think anybody's arguing that. And in the most recent year, 2022, he completed 60% of his passes. Okay, that's an increase. 2,200 passing yards, 17 touchdowns to only 11 INTs. That's better. And also, it is worth mentioning, on the ground, he had over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. You gotta throw that in there. I think that's good. It's all fine and dandy, but here's the one problem with that. You don't want your quarterback running the ball over 150 times a year. I don't care who you are. You run the ball 150 times a year as a quarterback, you're not going to last in the NFL. It's not even possible. His numbers aren't actually as bad as I originally thought they were going to be going into this video. But here's what I like to see in a young player's game when I evaluate him at the high school, college, or even the NFL level. I want to see your numbers increasing, and I want to see you getting better every single year. And up to this point, Fields has done that. Now, here's what we really need to get into, and it's the main reason we're making this video. Reportedly, at practice and the OTAs, Justin Fields has been playing out of his mind. It has been stated by multiple sources that he is quote-unquote miles ahead of where he was last year at the conclusion of minicamp. And I'll tell you this before we go any farther, I believe it. He's entering his 3rd year in the NFL, and this is typically when quarterbacks, they make the jump, they make the leap, and they're extremely comfortable. He proved last year that he is a franchise quarterback, or potentially could be. But check this out. One NFL scout recently said he would be shocked if Fields is not an MVP candidate. Woo! What do y'all think about that? I'll tell you this much. That's some bold words to say about Justin Fields. Also been stated he's been training with Michael Vick. Who cares about that? But also check this out. Many NFL scouts reportedly believe Fields has a chance to surpass Trevor Lawrence this season. Oh man, that is some more bold words. And maybe this is controversial, but I've always had this hunch and I've always felt like Justin Fields is slightly better than Trevor Lawrence. Coming out of high school, they were 1A, 1B, but everybody gave the edge to Trevor Lawrence, and I didn't like that. I always preferred Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence. There's just something about him. I'd rather have him as a quarterback. Right now, if I had to start a team in the NFL and I could pick either Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, me personally, I'm taking Justin Fields. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with that, and that's okay. Whoa, hold on. I know a lot of you sitting there saying, well, Matt, these are just reports. Like, what does this mean? What is this even supposed to amount to? My friend, that is a great point. I knew some of y'all would be saying that. That's why I got more evidence and more facts to back all this up. 2 days ago at practice in the final minicamp, Justin Fields was 9 for 13 with 5 touchdown passes and 1 touchdown pass was dropped. So really 10 for 13. I'm not going to sit up here and hype up this stat line. You see it for yourself. It's amazing. Granted, it is in practice, but also remember if he would have went 3 for 13 with 4 interceptions, everybody would be talking about that as well. So I don't want to hear any of this, oh, well, it's in OTAs, it's in practice. No, shut up. If he was throwing 5 interceptions, y'all would be saying he's a bust. So keep that same energy whenever he does well in practice. With all that great stuff being said, here's where things get a little dicey, at least from my perspective. I think most of you know this by now. I'm not as well educated and as well informed on the NFL as I am with college football. With college football, I can tell you anything and everything about every team in the country. But with the NFL, I'm kind of shaky on some things when it comes to like offensive line, a defensive line, and certain teams. I don't know as much, but with the Chicago Bears, here's one thing I do know. Their wide receiver play, it's up in the air. They haven't done a great job of surrounding Justin Fields with some great weapons. That has been the one thing that everybody's been trying to say. Hey, you gotta get Justin Fields some weapons. Remember though, they just recently got DJ Moore and they also got Chase Claypool. But apparently and allegedly, the Chicago Bears aren't happy with Chase Claypool. So who knows what's gonna happen there. So at this point in time, I guess you can only count on DJ Moore. It doesn't matter how you chop that up, that's concerning. But I also believe that Justin Fields, he's gonna do a good job of spreading the ball to all of his wide receivers like Dante Pettis and St. Brown as well. All in all, here's my question to you guys. It doesn't matter if you want to believe this or you don't want to believe it. These are cold hard facts. These reports are true. He's been looking good in practice. You saw the numbers. You've seen the video clips. He's looking good. You can't debunk that. My question to you guys is this right here. Do you think they're doing a little bit too much by saying these things about Justin Fields? You had one scout saying that he'd be shocked if he doesn't compete for the MVP. You got others saying he's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence and yada, yada, yada. Just everything we talked about. What do you think about it? My personal opinion, I'm not mad about it. I'm not opposed to it. And I guess the reason I'm not so opposed to this is because I could see him having a breakout season. I've always liked Justin Fields, and I've always liked watching him play. I think it's a great game. But the key word is, I like him. I know a lot of people out here, they don't like him. A lot of people out here don't believe in him. So let me know your thoughts down below. But, roll with me.